Everyone, welcome back to another Japanese learning video. Today I wanted to talk about something that I think almost every Japanese learner struggles with at some point: speaking. And honestly, I'm still working on it too. Right now, I'm preparing for JLPT N4, so most of my study time goes into grammar, vocabulary, kanji, and reading practice. Every day, I revise grammar, learn new vocabulary, practice reading, and review kanji. And yes, all of these things are helping me improve my Japanese. But I realized something recently. Just because I know Japanese doesn't mean I can automatically speak Japanese. Maybe you have experienced this too. You understand a sentence, you understand anime, you understand what your teacher is saying, you understand what your Japanese friend wrote. But when it's your turn to speak, your brain suddenly becomes empty. You know the words, you know the grammar, but somehow the sentence doesn't come out. And honestly, that's completely normal. I think one of reason is that understanding and speaking are two different skills. When we listen, we only need to recognize words. But when we speak, we need to remember words, build sentences, choose grammar, pronounce everything correctly, and respond quickly. That's a lot of work for our brain. Another reason is fear. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes. I was too. Sometimes when I speak Japanese, I start thinking, is this grammar correct? Am I using the right particle? What if my pronunciation is wrong? What if the other person doesn't understand me? And because of all that thinking, I end up speaking less. But recently, I have been trying to change that. Instead of focusing on speaking perfectly, I'm trying to focus on speaking consistently. So, today I want to share some things that are helping me improve my Japanese speaking little by little every day. The first thing I do is speak out loud while studying. This sounds very simple, but instead of only reading vocabulary, I try to pronounce every word. If I learn a new grammar pattern, I create a simple sentences using it and say them out loud. This helps me remember both grammar and how it actually sounds in real conversations. The goal isn't to sound perfect or speak like a native speaker right away. The goal is simply to become comfortable opening my mouth and speaking Japanese without overthinking every word. The second thing I do is practice shadowing. I listen to native Japanese speakers and repeat exactly what they say, trying to copy not only the words but also their pronunciation, rhythm, intonation, and even their speaking speed. Instead of just focusing on the meaning, I pay attention to how native speakers naturally connect words and express different emotions. This habit has really helped me improve my pronunciation. It's one of the most effective exercises I have found because it improves both speaking and listening at the same time. Even repeating just 5 or 10 minutes a day can make a noticeable difference over time. The third thing I do is speak to myself regularly and record it. I will describe what I am doing, talk about my day, explain my plans for tomorrow, or answer simple questions like what did I do today? Or what do I want to eat? It's a simple exercise, but it forces me to actively use the vocabulary and grammar I have been learning. I also record myself speaking and listen back afterward. At first, it felt a little uncomfortable hearing my own voice, but it actually one of the best ways to notice my mistakes. By listening to my recordings, I can clearly see what I need to improve and I can focus my study on those weak points. This simple habit has helped me speak more smoothly and make fewer mistakes. The fourth thing I do is practicing conversation with AI. I have been using MochiKaiwa for that. And what I like about it is that there is no pressure. Nobody is judging you. You can take your time, you can make mistakes without feeling embarrassed. And for many learners, I think that's exactly what they need. One thing I really liked is that the app is divided into different sections depending on your learning goals. If you are a beginner or someone who prefer more structured speaking practice, there are guided lessons that walk you through real life situations step by step. Whether your goal is everyday conversation or preparing for a Japanese job interview, you can choose the course that fits your needs. As you practice, you will say each word and sentence out loud, and the app gives you instant pronunciation feedback. I think that's really helpful because you can understand and correct your pronunciation from the very beginning instead of building a bad habit. Then you can also review it for better retention with the 5 level memorization system. The more you learn, the better you will remember the word. That means you are not only practicing speaking but also building long term vocabulary retention at the same time. Personally, my favorite feature is the role play mode because it helps me build speaking reflexes. You can practice different real life situations such as introducing yourself, ordering food, asking for directions, daily conversation, and many other practical scenarios. I think this is useful because speaking isn't just about knowing Japanese, it's about responding fluently. The role plays forces me to think the answer on my own instead of simply repeating after someone else. But whenever I get stuck, I will use the suggestion button. It analyzes the conversation and gives me example of natural responses which has helped me build speaking reflexes so much.
はじめまして。今日はとてもいい天気ですね。私はもちと言います。あなたはどなたですか？
Shivambika this. And after each role play session, you receive detailed feedback on your conversation so you can clearly see what you are doing well and what areas still need improvement. Another feature I really like is that I can even create my own conversation topics so I can practice exactly the kind of Japanese I want to use. This app's been a huge help for my speaking practice, so I definitely recommend checking it out. Finally, the fifth thing I do is to talk to Japanese people whenever I get the opportunity. After practicing myself, I try to put everything I have learned into real conversation, whether it's through language exchange app, online communities, or meeting Japanese people in person. I make it a goal to speak as much as possible. And honestly, talking to native speakers is one of the best ways to improve because real conversations are completely different from textbook conversations. You learn natural expressions, you learn how people actually speak, and you learn how to respond in real time. Most important, talking to real people builds confidence. It teaches you to communicate even when you don't know every word. And that's what speaking a language is really about. It's not about having perfect grammar, it's about connecting with people. So, if you are someone who already understands some Japanese but still struggle to speak, I just want to say this. Don't wait until your Japanese become perfect because that day will probably never come. Even advanced learners make mistakes, even native speakers make mistakes sometimes. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is communication. Start small, speak simple sentences, read out loud, practice every day. Talk to people when you can. And if talking to real people feels scary right now, Tools like MochiKaiwa can be a great place to start building confidence before moving into real conversation. If you'd like to check it out, I will leave the link in the description below. Anyway, that's how I have been trying to improve my Japanese speaking skills every day. Let me know in the comments what's your biggest challenge right now. Grammar, kanji, listening, or speaking. And if you are currently learning Japanese, what level are you studying? Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Ja matane.